What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the KFC Toys Smithereen, Stogy, and Wastor Delta, the next few in their line of Junkions. So we've gotten quite a few of these so far, and I got these from the Chosen Prime. There's just a few. These are kind of unique. They all have like slightly different. So for example, this guy's got the wheels on the front. This guy's got the horns. I mean, they all have slightly different things, but they're basically the same mold. Since they are the same mold and the transformations are pretty much the same, I'm going to skip the transformations here and really just show you the robot mode, the accessories they come with, and then we'll go into the vehicle modes and we'll finish off. So starting off with Smithereen, you can see he's got some nice yellow painted detail here. You got the spiky bits on the shoulder. They are rubbery. The ears will move in and out here. You got the paint here. Silver, red for the eyes. These wheels are just kind of plugged in, and I believe you had to take those off for transformation. But you got the spiky bits here, which are optional. They all work, again, the way they worked before, so they're mix and match parts. You can take arms and pieces and off and switch them and swap them. I'm not going to do that, but you can do that here. Here's the back. It does look pretty much like the original, their Wreck-Gar, but of course some retooled parts. Articulation is the same across the board for these, so I'll just go over this one and then we'll assume the others are the same. So the head goes up to there, down to there. For these, the ears do go back and forth like this, and you can rotate the head around. Arms rotate around on a ratchet up to there. If you go too far, it will pop off these shoulder pads. This one doesn't have shoulder pads, but these two that do, it basically limits it there unless you take it off. You have a rotation at the bicep. Now again, this is a removable part, so you can take that off. Double joint elbow gets you the full bend on that. Rotation at the wrist. Individually articulated fingers. Now these are done differently than the original versions where the fingers are just single pinned. So you can't really point, but you can move those fingers. And then the thumb is on a ball joint and a pin. You have a rotation at the waist here. And there's a cut at the second wheel, so you can do that, but it definitely breaks the sculpt once you rotate that waist. You have a hip skirt here that'll move out of the way. Allow the legs to go up to there on a ratchet, back to there on a ratchet, up to the side on friction, rotation of the thigh. The tolerances do feel good actually on these guys. Knee bend up to there. Yeah, this is just pegged in there. Knee bend 90 degrees. Ankle tilt up to there, back to there, forward and down on the toe. So plenty of movement. Same movement that we've gotten before on these Junkion figures. So let's bring in Stogy. So he's got horns here. This is unique because this is the only one with horns off the front. The horns on the back are designed the same way. They're a little bit shorter, but they do have the ball joints, so you can move them in and out and up and down. But everything else is pretty much the same. He does have these saddlebags here that we had on the original Wreck-Gar figure. All in all, pretty cool looking. And then finally we have Wastor Delta. Like this guy's got the exhaust pipes here on the front. That's kind of cool. Red paint here. Black paint for the eyes and a red detail there. A little bit of bluish gray up here. Red down here. Here's the back. He also has the butt piece there. And again, same articulation as the others. For accessories, we do get some pretty cool stuff. So this guy comes with this. So this is meant to simulate his wheel. So if you take this off, it's two pieces here. This actually this is supposed to come off of here, but this will basically plug in right here. So there's a tab right here and a slot. You can get this around and then plugged in, and you can hold it. So there's a tab right here. Kind of a cool, unique weapon. And like I mentioned earlier, everything is swappable between all these guys. Everybody can use everybody else's stuff. But he's got this kind of pincer claw type of weapon. For Stogy, you get some cool parts. You get this sort of mace, but it's a really cool looking mace. It's got this basically looks like a Sharkticon head. Oh, it is Sharkticon head. So that's maybe the design of their head. I don't know. These are very thin, so be careful. I haven't broken mine, but they were just in the plastic. I'm probably going to wrap these up in something. I don't know. But it does have some articulation. So it has 4 points of articulation. So you can get this in his hand. And he holds that pretty well. And you can just kind of be dangling that head. That's pretty cool. He also comes with this gun. Pretty cool. It's got gold paint and gray. This also fits in his hand. Some good looking weapons here for this guy. I mean, these are unique. I haven't seen weapons like this on any of the others. So it's nice they do that just to kind of differentiate all of these characters from each other. Alright, last guy here, Wastor Delta. He comes with basically 2 guns. They're just done in this yellow plastic. They're very, very plain, to be honest. They don't have any paint on them, but they do work and they do look good in his hands. I just wish they had a little bit of paint detail on them, but there you go. And for a quick size comparison, there they are next to the Transform Element Optimus Prime. These guys have always been kind of pretty tall, but they fit in nicely with the Masterpiece scale. There they are next to the Fans Toys Hot Rod and Cup, and they're pretty tall. They're definitely taller than these 2 guys, but fits in nicely with the movie bots. Alright, now we'll get these guys transformed into their motorcycle modes. Since the transformation is the same for all of these, there's no reason to show it again here on camera. So I'll get them transformed off camera. We'll be right back. Alright, and there they are in their motorcycle modes. Now this one, I didn't put the front wheel on yet because it is a new transformation that I wanted to show. So this is the piece that was on the chest. If you can remember, there were 2 pieces on the chest. And this actually makes its own wheel. So you're going to take this little axle piece. That's what it was, by the way. I finally figured it out. Close this up. And then this is going to tab in. Come on, stay in there. Then this is going to tab into here. This is actually a really tight tab. So you kind of have to get it on the top. And then there's spikes on the outside, which are poking your fingers. So it's a little bit of an annoying thing to do, but you should be able to get this in here. There we go. So it should look like something like that with the axle in the middle. I'm going to put it in here. So there's actually peg holes for these spikes to go in. And then this is going to close around this, and you kind of have to get it closed up partially. Then you can put this in. It's a little tricky, but should be like this. Then that's going to insert here in the front axle, of course. Get both sides on. And then you make sure you plug this into here. And we'll put his stand up. And there you go. Now we have all 3 in their motorcycle modes. Pretty cool looking. So I'll go one by one. So for Smithereen, pretty much got the similar look to the original, but you got these on the back here. These wheels are all black. It's kind of cool. We haven't had any like that. They do still spin, although this front axle, I guess it worked. You have these pieces, which are also new. We haven't had these side pieces like this before. So those just fold down off of the knees. These are the knee pieces. The knee cap is right here. So pretty cool. It does still have, this is a little bit loose, but luckily there's a screw so you can tighten it if you want. Next up is Stogy. Here he is. The yellow is not quite a perfect match, so there's a kind of a lighter yellow and then a darker yellow. But it does look pretty good. You can open up these panels here. Pretty good thing. Now I didn't put any of the rearview mirrors or handles on there. So just know that you have some extra detail. If you want to add those, you can. And lastly, we have Wastor Delta. Here is this one. Got some nice engine detail there. He's got pink wheels. He's got the things on the back as well. And the guns are pegged into the side. The only one I couldn't find a way to put the weapon on is the second weapon for this guy. So this one is actually tabbed in right here. But his little mace here, I couldn't really figure out a way. I guess you could plug it in, let's see, to the top here. Maybe. There's probably a way. I don't want to force anything because this is a delicate piece. But I'm guessing you can probably attach this somewhere here in the bike mode. So there you go for the bike mode. It's pretty cool overall. So final thoughts on the KFC, Smithereen, Stogy, and Wastor Delta. Let's start with the positives. I like that they're differentiated quite a bit. They have different accessories, different head sculpts. Even some of the body is done differently. So that helps to differentiate. If you are collecting all of these, then you'll have a nice lineup here of Junkions. I also think that the transformation is pretty much the same across the board. They haven't changed it. It works fine. This is one of KFC's better molds. It's always been, one of their successes. So I think, parlaying that into more Junkions is probably a good idea. It was a good call for them. Negatives wise, the plastic is a little bit cheap. It's starting to feel dated. This one, for example, the yellow plastic, it's a lot of unpainted surface. It starts to feel a little bit cheap when you have that much unpainted plastic. But you know what you're getting with these guys because we've been getting these for so long. So if you're a fan of the Junkions and you're collecting this set, then these are must-haves because you want to have all the Junkions in your collection. But that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.